Hi, it's Melissa from Vibe Yoga. Today's practice is part of the first week of easing back into your yoga practice. So we are going to be doing a 20-minute practice, walking through a Sun A, and also adding a little Warrior 2 into the mix. Today, just take some time, connect with your breath, and listen to your body, listen to what comes up. Feel good about the fact that you're back on your yoga mat, and don't compare yourself to anyone else or even a former version of yourself. Just try to enjoy today's flow and feel good that you're back on the mat.
20/20 vision, ain't much missing. 2 eyes blurred, but my third eye didn't. Need your correction, seems it's been getting better over time. It's a sign that I'm heading in the right direction. Need no permission. Fate be affecting all my decision. No longer listen to your opinion. You got intention, I got the vision.
We're going to start in child's pose. Feel free to bring your knees as wide or as close together as you'd like. And take your time walking the hands down, coming down and trying to relax into your child's pose. Feel free to use a block underneath the forehead if you'd like, or underneath the chest. Today we're really going to focus on just listening to our bodies, feeling what comes up, and not judging, not comparing to where you might have been a year ago or even a week ago. Just taking some time to look inward and connect with your body today. So let's just deepen our breath here and take a few breaths to settle into our practice. Nice long inhale. Breathing all the way down into those hips, and exhale, letting it all go. Let's take 3 more breaths here in our child's pose. Remembering you can come to child's pose at any time throughout the practice. And exhale here. On your next inhale, we'll ground into those hands and draw ourselves up into hands and knees. Adjust those knees so they're right underneath the hips. Hands are nice and flat, palms are underneath those shoulders, working into a little bit of a cat-cow. Inhaling drops the belly, gaze comes forward, and then as you exhale, start that motion at the tailbone, like a wave rolling all the way up to the top of the head. Inhaling and exhaling. Take some time to check in with your body. So if you need to hold anything longer, or if you need to move a little bit differently to target some of those areas that really need some love, feel free to make this your own practice today. Inhaling into our cow, exhaling into cat. One more round of breath, inhaling and exhaling. And on the next inhale, we'll come back to a nice, strong, neutral spine. Curl those toes, push those hips back, and then straighten through the legs into our first down dog. Breathe here. Think about one long line from the tip of your head to your tailbone, so that you're trying to make sure you're bringing your hips back, bending into the knees as much as you need. My hands are nice and flat. I'm really grounding through those hands. Nice and strong, down dog. Just observe where you are today and don't judge. Be proud of yourself for rolling out the mat and coming back to your practice. Let's take one more round of breath here. And on the bottom of that exhale, we'll slowly walk our feet forward. You can also walk the hands back to meet the feet. Coming into a ragdoll. Feet are underneath the hips. Arms can interlace, bend into the knees as much as you'd like. A little sway might feel good. Just imagine yourself letting go of any judgment or anything else you're holding on to that's not helping you out right now. Use gravity here and your breath to create space and see if you can release a little bit deeper. And starting to engage those hamstrings and straightening up through the back. Let's work on our halfway lift. Inhaling here. Imagine that you can eat dinner off of your back, so you're creating one long line from the top of your head to your tailbone. Hands can come to your shins or to your thighs, maybe even touching the ground, but we want to make sure we're getting the straight line, and you should feel this engagement of the hamstrings here. A nice stretch. Let's do this a couple times. Exhale, release forward. Inhale, back up to that half lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. And this time, we'll bend the knees slightly, straighten through the back, and inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. And on your next exhale, let those palms come forward into your mountain pose. Take a moment here to check in with the body. We're starting to wake up our muscles, getting back into our flow. And just thank yourself again for giving yourself this short practice today. Starting to build on our Sun A, we'll start with some sunbursts. Inhaling, arms up. Maybe a slight back bend as we start warming up. Exhale, dives us forward with that flat back. Inhale to that halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale brings us all the way back up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. One more time. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale brings us back up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. And this time we'll work all the way through our Sun A. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, flat back. This time, plant the palms and we'll step back. For this first one, I'm going to lower to my knees. My elbows stay in close to the body as I come forward and lower all the way down. Inhaling into a baby cobra. My head is an extension of my spine, so I'm not cranking my neck back. My gaze is out in the front of the mat. Inhale here. And then as I exhale, I'm pushing up through hands and knees, curling those toes, and exhaling to down dog. So that's a modified vinyasa. You can take that at any time. Another option is always to skip the vinyasa altogether. That's the lowering down, pushing back up into a slight back bend, and then coming back to down dog. You can skip it and just step back to down dog if you'd like. And anytime we're in down dog, feel free to take child's pose, coming back to that position that we started class with. Let's take one more breath here. Nice long line from your head to your tailbone. Don't worry about if you have to bend your knees, and don't worry about if your heels aren't coming close to the ground. Bottom of this exhale, we'll bring the feet forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Right back into it. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Plant the palms. Step back. You can lower to your knees, or this time try to work through your chaturanga with a nice straight body. Elbows stay close to the body. Inhale, up dog, or you can take that cobra. Up dog, my thighs are off the ground. And then exhale, hips lead the way, up and back, down dog. Breathe here. Just gauge where you're at. If you feel like you're not maintaining form as you're lowering through that chaturanga, then drop those knees and just work on building back up that ab strength. Again, don't judge, don't compare. Just be proud of yourself for doing something good right now. Bottom of your exhale, we'll bring the feet back to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Building on our Sun A, let's inhale our arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the palms. Exhale, step it back, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. From this down dog, let's plant into the left foot and inhale that right leg straight back. As I exhale, I'm going to curl the back like I'm in my cat pose. Bring that right foot all the way between my hands. Give yourself time to make sure the ankle is right below the knee. So you might have to adjust it slightly, no problem. And when you're ready, engage through the core. We're going to open all the way up through our crescent lunge, and then that left foot comes parallel to the back of the mat, opening into Warrior Two. Warrior Two, your right leg is nice and wide, externally rotated, so you're feeling a big stretch through the thighs, and you're grounding through that outer edge of the left foot. Arms are nice and strong, shoulders are away from the ears, and then see if you can bend a little deeper into that right knee. Gaze is out over those right fingertips. Breathe here. See if you can keep the weight in your right foot equal between your heel and your toes, so that you're engaging both the quad and the hamstrings. And then see if you can feel that stretch starting to open up through those thighs, through the hip area. You got this. One more round of breath, inhaling and exhaling. We'll flip that right hand, lean forward. Inhale to reverse, and as we exhale, I'm going to windmill my hands around that right foot. Come up on my left toes. Step the right foot back, and I can press right back into down dog or lower down and flow through a vinyasa. So we'll all meet in down dog. Taking it right to the other side, grounding into that right foot. We'll inhale that left leg up and back, and then exhale, bring that left knee all the way forward. Make sure the left foot is underneath the left knee. Get your balance here. Inhale, bringing us up and open into our Warrior Two on the left side. So this time I'm thinking about my left leg externally rotating and grounding through the outer edge of that right foot. And again, my gaze is out over those left fingertips, and my shoulders are nice and low, arms are engaged. Breathe here. Let's take one more round of breath. Exhale, flip the hand. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, windmill those hands around the left foot, come up on the right toes, step it back, optional vinyasa. Exhale to down dog. Option to stay in down dog here, or feel free to inhale down to your knees and exhale back into child's pose. We'll take 5 breaths here. See if you can slow down that heart rate. Scan the body. If you're in down dog already, we're coming to meet you. If you're in child's pose, we'll inhale to hands and knees, curl those toes, exhale, hips lead the way, down dog. One just round of breath here to transition. Bottom of that exhale, we'll bring the feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And we'll stay here in our mountain pose. Let those palms come forward. And again, see if you can start slowing down the breath, letting that heart rate come down. Just feeling the body today, feeling what comes up physically, emotionally, reconnecting. We'll transition into our tree pose. So you can bring the weight into that left foot. Spread those toes nice and wide. You can even play with shifting your weight forward and back, side to side. Engage the core. And when you're ready, you can come up on the right toes or bring that knee up and then out to the side. Making sure the foot stays below the knee, or if you can get it above the knee, that's fine. Just don't put it right on that kneecap. Hands can come to prayer, or they can branch out overhead if you'd like. Just noticing where your balance is at today and breathing here. Finding that drishti, that spot that's not moving in front of you. And with control, see if you can inhale that knee forward and then gently let that right foot down and shake it out. Shift your weight into your right foot, spread those toes nice and wide, engage that core. Inhale that left knee up, out to the side, let the foot land above or below the knee. You can also keep the toes on the ground, still very challenging. Breathe here and just note how your balance feels on this side. Nice job. Inhale that knee forward, let it out, shake it out. Come back to the front of the mat if you're not there already. One final vinyasa flow here. Inhaling, arms up, maybe a little bit of a deeper back bend this time. Exhale, diving forward, really feeling this flow. Inhaling, flat back. Plant the palms, and I invite you to just step right back into down dog if you want to add that vinyasa. Feel free. We'll all inhale down to hands and knees. Sit back on those feet, swing those legs around, and gently lower yourself down onto your back. Let's take an inhale here to stretch nice and long. Exhale, draw those knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Might feel nice to even rock a little bit side to side. Always an invitation to hold things longer if they feel good. No need to go at anyone else's pace but your own. I'm going to let my knees come wide. My arms reach between the knees, and I'm reaching for the outer edge of my feet, opening them up into my happy baby. So my knees are drawn down to the side of my body. I'm trying to keep my lower back grounded on the mat. Drawing those knees down. Feet are facing the ceiling. Again, it might feel nice to stay still, or it might feel good to rock a little. Maybe even play with straightening up those legs, just seeing where you are today. If you can't reach the feet, you can hold on to the shins. You can even hold on behind the thighs. And we'll draw those knees back in. One more squeeze. Let those legs come long. Feet and knees roll out away from the center line, palms face up, working into our Shavasana. If you're feeling any pressure on your lower back, you can bend into the knees, let them come out to the sides into a butterfly pose here. That will relieve the lower back a little bit, or bend into them here. Or just let them come long into Shavasana. And we'll take some time here. If you want to make this longer, feel free to pause the video and hang out here for as long as you're craving today. Just let it go. Maybe take another moment to thank yourself for coming to the mat today, and then just taking a few more breaths, sinking down into the mat. Feel free to pause the film and spend some more time in your Shavasana. Otherwise, if you're ready, we'll start gently waking up the body, deepening the breath, wiggling those wrists and ankles, fingers and toes. Eventually taking a nice stretch up overhead, drawing the knees into the chest and making your way onto your side in a fetal position. And when you're ready, gently pushing yourself back up to seated at the front of your mat. Great job getting back on the mat and joining me in this brief flow today. The light and good in me sees and honors the light and good in you. Namaste.
20/20 vision, ain't much missing. Two eyes blurry, but my third eye